In this demonstration, we're going to talk about the acknowledgments under the control panel here. If you pop into here, you'll actually see it's under the extras heading here, and then it's called the acknowledgments here. This is a way to send a push notification as well as an email if you needed it to. It is automatic through the push notification, but you will need to set up the email for acknowledgments. And if you do need to do that, that will also be under the control panel under your employees heading here and then under your employee settings. And then if you need to turn that on, it's actually this very first one here for acknowledgments. If you did want them to receive that email, there's actually kind of a three-step process here. First, you're going to need to turn it on for email. You're going to scroll down and you're going to save your changes. What that actually does is it only applies to new users added going forward. It actually says that, right here, when a new employee is created, it's going to use these settings. However, to retroactively apply it to all your current users, the next step after that is to just apply to all. It's going to say apply this setting to all users. You're going to go ahead and click OK here, and it shows that it's applied to 9 profiles that I have in my employee section. So that is now toggled on for each employee, and you can also confirm this by popping into one of their profiles here, looking at their bell icon here, and set up, then you could kind of send out that acknowledgement as needed. If you wanted it to go via email, you'll just pop into your acknowledgments here, and then you can send that message. So I will show a few options for the acknowledgments. You can also insert a hyperlink, so that's another one I'll show. But in this case, we're going to just talk about a PDF document. I have a sample document here that we can upload as an attachment here. We can require that signature saying, please review and sign off. And if you needed it ongoing, what this means is it would be for new users added to your site. So great one for any policies or procedures that you need to sign off on, employee handbooks, those types of things. Anytime it's ongoing, it's automatically going to create that task for them on their homepage for any of those new users. Also, there's also an option for expiration. This one's usually used for weather-related push notifications that you might want to send out. And obviously, if it's snowing one day and not in a few days later, you may want that to expire. And if they didn't sign off, no big deal after that because the weather's better now. So you can just have an expiration date when the weather gets better and have that acknowledgement expire as well. As you can see, you can have multiple attachments, so there's no limitations on kind of having multiple. They'll just click the next button through it and be able to see each document accordingly from there. And then whether you're going to send it to everyone, which would be all users currently active in your site, or if you need to do that limited option based off of their job title or department or location, there are options to do things like that. In this case, I'm just going to tag it to myself here. It automatically says that it matches one employee, and I'm going to send it now so that we could see what that looks like from the user's perspective. So now if I go to my home page, I'm going to get toggled this task for the acknowledgement. It again has that little bell icon where I'm going to click on it to review and sign off. It says exactly what I typed in there. I will click next. I'm going to see that document rendering, and then I will click next again and sign off saying that I acknowledge it. A few other ones that you could do, as I stated, if you wanted them to just have a quick link to something, you could say, I'm going to copy just this link to this form and say, please click this link to fill out this form, and we'll show what that experience looks like from the user. So you could say, similarly, please click this link, and then we'll insert that hyperlink. I'm not going to require anything additional. And then again, I'll just, in this case, add myself as an employee. And then we're going to go ahead and send that now. And as you can see in the acknowledgement section, I'm also creating a history as well. So I can see this data as well, and I'll pop into that in just a moment and show that further. So on the home page, you'll see again, I have that open task assigned to me. Once I click into it, it creates that hyperlink for me to click into. I can start, clicking the form or wherever I need to go from there, close that tab out and acknowledge this to get rid of the task. One thing I do want to caution with on the acknowledgments is very large attachments will cause rendering issues. It is not meant to send like a very large attachment. We usually don't recommend more than a few pages. However, there are options to get around that. So, for example, if you wanted to go ahead and click send, I have the sample document here I'm going to pull up that's a PDF currently right now. And there is ways to kind of take a snapshot here if you have a snipping tool that you could use. If not, there's lots of free ones out there that you can download and just save this as a image file. I'm just going to save it to my desktop here. This is going to become sample 1 for page 1. We're going to do page 2 here as a image snippet. And then we could upload these into the acknowledgement section from there. So we'll call this sample 2 just so I know the difference. Close out my PDF here. And now, similarly, I'll put please review and sign off. So now we'll just attach these files. And we'll go again to my desktop to make it nice and easy here. There's my sample 1. You'll just attach another file for sample 2. Kind of another nice thing about this one is if it's a large document and if it was a PDF, they just scroll through it and there's no way to ensure that they look at every single page versus this would ensure that they have to look at every page. So again, require that signature. In this case, I'm just going to assign it to myself. Actually, we'll go ahead and sign it to everyone. Send now. I have that acknowledgement sent. And now on my home page again, I am toggled that task to review and sign off. Shows whatever I typed in as that message. The next page you could see is page 1, my page 1 document of that snapshot. Page 2 is that image file, and then that sign off page. And then they acknowledge and complete the task. So again, just kind of ensures that they get it. The image also renders immediately on their device. So a lot of times if you can take that snapshot, even on one-page documents, it will just render a little bit faster for the user and kind of be a little bit better experience. So 2 other things I'll show here. And on the profile that you get this section as well. For any acknowledgments that they have signed off on, you can click on this plus button and see any of those acknowledgments from here. Also, another great feature again is if you pop back into your control panel, go under the acknowledgments here, you're actually going to be able to click into the details of each one of these. You see that percentage of completion, if it's ongoing or not. Obviously, the date it was created and who it was created by. You have the option to cancel that as well. If you click into the details here, this is where I could see exactly what was attached, who we sent it to. And if you scroll down further, you can export a report here as well, showing who has signed off and their signature right on screen. So if you utilize this export option, you could either download that into PDF or Excel to kind of see who is acknowledged it and who hasn't from there. Of course, if you have any questions regarding the acknowledgments or any other features in the platform, feel free to reach out to our support email at support@kpaehs.com.